one of the NCAA tournament heading into day 2. What a day 1 was. Not just on the court, off the court, Vegas, everything. Of course, what happens in Vegas always stays in Vegas, so we'll only tell you the highest of highlights. And Jay, lifetime Cowboy fan, everybody knows exactly how this goes. So we're hanging out at Aria at the VIP area, where we hang. I'm not a baller, but I play one on TV, and we're all hanging out, and whatever. And all of a sudden, Des Bryant, shooting hoops with Des Bryant, Cowboy great, says, "I know you guys. I watch you guys every day." He's got the phone out showing how he's subscribed and how he's like, "I was watching you guys today." How cool is that?
That was insane. Just never know what you're gonna see out here, man.
Yeah, it's. I think we'll probably see him again today, is my guess.
He's so cool too. He's just a regular person,
Yeah, he's hanging out. I know Chris talked to him for a couple hours, I think, about some games. I thought you guys were gonna maybe go out for maybe sit in the hot tub for a couple of hours. It looked like you guys were headed in that direction.
That was the move. That was like the next move.
Yeah, I thought you guys were going to say, "Hey, man, you want to go for a soak?"
Mitch, you missed this. This was, and Brad saw this. So we're playing the game of knockout.
Brad Francis is also with us out here. There's a lot of other people, but
So we're playing knockout because at this VIP watching area, there just has to be a really nice half-court basketball because we're watching basketball. So we're playing, of course, Des, he's draining everything. We're rotating. Jay's in front of me, right? Jay misses. Okay. This guy doesn't miss an NBA because he went 4 for 4 yesterday, but he misses. So then I have to shoot before he, the game of knockout, I have to make it before he does. This guy loses his hat. Somehow the hat slips under my foot. I slip on his hat.
Dez's hat?
I slip on his hat.
Almost Dez's hat? The cowboy hat?
No, Jay's hat.
No, Jay's hat.
No, Jay's
hat. The Red
Ranger's hat goes right underneath my foot. I slip on it, almost do a full split. Everybody's laughing. Brad is dying.
Costy's gonna need a treatment.
I'm dying too.
Costy's gonna need a treatment whatever it is after this trip, man. After the push-up and that.
Yes,
Tell Lindsay, we're not trying to break you. You're trying to break yourself.
I was going to say Costy was a health risk yesterday.
The push-up was a failure. Let's call it what it was. So Chris mounted Costy like a horse, and basically what happened was a loud pop.
People pay for that.
Wait, no. The best part about what you heard the pop, and then you heard Costy go, "Oh."
Yeah.
I don't think it was quite ready for the actual. I mean, it all sounds good on paper, It's like, yeah, it was.
It was at that moment he knew he messed up.
Yeah.
And then during knockout, there's like 10 guys doing, we're going around, and all I hear in the background, "Where's the jam session?" Right in the middle of the game. It's so good. Where's the jam session?
We'll be back at it today, though. If anyone's out in Vegas, hit us up.
There's a guy. There you go. Stratosphere. Yeah, come on out. We're at the Aria. Love to meet you, Big Tank.
Yeah. But we're having a good time. Brad Francis also with us as well. This is Eric too. So a lot of the guys.
MGM update still blocked on MGM. Just saying.
Yeah. Fuck those guys.
Also, respectfully, fuck Texas Tech.
Fuck Texas Tech, man.
Me, Costy, and Roof. I think we all had
and Brad
humongous parlays all
Brad.
came down to the last leg, all tied to damn Texas Tech.
I didn't even have him on my board yesterday. I don't even know how I got him in there.
It was me. I did that.
So Texas. So NC State plays against Oakland, 11 versus 14 next round. So this is what I said after the first round. Seedings go out the window because even Duck and Ease they play like who do they play? Illinois. I mean, there's a good game. You got Arizona versus Dayton, another good game. You got Creighton versus Oregon, I think, right? It's like these are good games, man. So the big winners yesterday, in hindsight, we didn't really talk about it. We don't talk business when we're betting on sports. But basically, we didn't really talk about this at the book, but pretty much the A10 had a big day yesterday with Duckanees and Dayton both winning. The Pac-12 also 3 winners yesterday. And John Calipari mulls his future at Kentucky. I'm telling you, I'll mull it for you.
The whole game, Roof, the entire game in the second half, all Mitch kept saying is he going to get fired like before 4 minutes? Or after 4 minutes? Like, are you sure they're going to let him finish the game?
Dude, he's so fired, man. He's so fired.
He was shouting out jobs like maybe Michigan, maybe not.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe Michigan.
Guys like that resurface. New Mexico State is like a place where they go. You know, Ron Romanelli believes that Tim Miles is in trouble at San Jose State. Does he know the way to San Jose? Possibly. You know, possibly. Coach Cal generally gets those high-profile jobs, though. He does, and I don't know if he would take a job like that. It'd be interesting to see how it goes. But we used to have a merch store, and we don't have it anymore. But I'm thinking about reopening it, so we'll have to see. The problem with a merch store is this: you have to keep inventory. And that's the pain in the ass because it's like, well, everybody wants everything now. Then all of a sudden people don't want it. And then you have to buy sizes and, everybody's XXX, 4X and whatever when you don't have them. And then when you do have them, everyone's a small. It's like, we need someone to handle the logistics for us. So that's the problem with the merch.
It's not going to be Eric Matthew.
No, if we can get someone to handle the logistics for us, I'd gladly open the merch store again. We had a company that we were outsourcing it through that was doing it before our last person that did it, and I just didn't like the quality of the stuff as much as I like stuff that I would wear, right? So all the Pick Dog stuff that we have, is all stuff we would wear, So, anyways. Let's get into today's action, man. We got a big card, and I got a call at noon, so we got to get into it. Chris Ruffolo, live from Vegas. Were you there when I hit on the roulette table, Chris? Mm-hmm.
Chris, press 1. Hold up one finger if Dez is behind you. 2 if he's not there. You don't have to say anything. 1 or 2.
Were you there when I hit on roulette, Chris?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, because
11,
Brad
right?
Brad had just hit on
that's right.
hit on
You
Black.
Convinced Brad to put $100 on Black, and it came up 11, which is one of my 2 numbers. I only know how to play roulette with 2 numbers. I only play the same 2 numbers. It's the only way I know how to play. I never even actually put the chips on the number. I just yell it at the dealer.
And then he got yelled at because he was so excited.
Touched the chips.
Well, then Brad was the exact opposite. He was so excited after the number hit, he ran and grabbed the chips off the table.
I'm very confused still. Before we get into games, I have like 10 hand pays. I have all these receipts that they give me, these hand pays. Somehow I got absolutely roasted late last night. Something changed. I woke up out of this haze and I'm like, wow, I've lost a lot.
So So I went back down to the book last night, hoping to get bets in for the early games today, and I still have like a lot of chips now because I hit on that roulette, and then I had my other craps chips, and then I had winning tickets, all of which I didn't cash. So I was like hoping to unload them all, and no luck at all. But I did get a few bets in for the early games today, so at least I'm set then. But anyway, speaking of early games, we got FAU taking on Northwestern. This is an 8-9 game. Now we're back into March Madness mode. We already know the gloves are off, man. It's like all these teams that are in can flat out play. Even some of the blowouts, like the only team that I would say got rung, there's only two teams that really got rung. Wagner got rung by Carolina, and McNeese got rung by Gonzaga. And I think it was a lot less McNeese in that game that Gonzaga. I mean, it was just. I mean, I think Gonzaga could have beaten anybody shooting like that. You know. But here we are. We got FAU versus
They tried
Northwestern.
really hard, though. They tried really hard.
Yeah, it's A for effort. We got FAU versus Northwestern, Baylor versus Colgate. Jay, any of these two? We know you've been hating on Baylor all season.
I kind of have been hating on Baylor all season. Colgate.
Oh yeah, Tennessee also rung them up. I'm with you on that. They did. St. Peter's.
I'm not really. I love the early schedule yesterday, and I really didn't like the late. Today's the opposite. I really don't like the early. I like the late. If I were to play this thing, I would probably go Colgate. Like Mitch said, I've been fading Baylor's ass all year. I think they win the game. I think they're head and shoulders the better team. But Colgate, if they get hot, they can compete. We seen that like yesterday with Oakland. So if I were to play that game, I would want the points in my back pocket. I think Colgate can shoot their way within the point spread. And in that other one, I lean Northwestern. If I were to play that one, I would probably take Northwestern money line, and try to give me some plus money to start my day.
Chris, either, both.
Yeah, I like both. I do like Baylor here against Colgate. It is a big number, but Colgate, the Patriot League graded out as one of the worst conferences in college basketball. So it's kind of like what we were talking about with the Ivy League, is that, Yale, and we'll talk about them in a bit, but Yale, good team in conference play, but they're not really tested by the rest of the conference. It's probably not going to help them here against a Baylor team that's really athletic, got some of the best guards in the country. I just think Colgate, just doesn't have it here. I think Baylor, far better team. I think they win this one 15 to 20 points. So I'll lay the points with Baylor in that one. And I'm going to take FAU. I'm going to lay the 3.5 with the Owls. I like Northwestern, but they did lose two of their better players for the season, Ty Berry and Ryan Langborg. There's only so much boo-boo he can do on his own. And this FAU team, they weren't as good as they were last year when they won 30 games and made it to the Final Four. We'll have to see if they can put together another run, but they brought back the majority of that team that made that run last year, and I think that that experience will help them here. So give me FAU in the 3.5.
Des was wearing the Louis Vuitton Merce costume.
Honestly, I was very jealous. That is,
Costi had Merce envy going on.
I had Merce envy. The guy played knockout basketball with the Merce, draining every single shot. Like it was part of him.
But how about when he took the phone out and he's like, I watch you guys every day, and he showed the thing, and it was the thumbnail of like one of my videos. He goes, I watch you. He came up to me because Jay was like, yeah, Jay's like, he wants to talk to everybody, and he's like, he comes over, Des, and he holds up the phone to me. He's like, I watch you guys every day, man. And he's like, he goes, I watch you and the other guy, and I said, he's over there. And he points through. He's like, yeah, that guy.
Then he took Roof in the corner for about 45 minutes.
Oh, I'm telling. They were headed to the hot tub. They were headed. They were headed to the sauna. Towels. That's where they were going. It was going that way. It was sauna, towels, stogies. Maybe a steak dinner. Hot tub.
Like I was popping back and forth, and like Roof was doing a deep dive into every single game today. It was fascinating.
It was going that way.
It's going that way. All I could, I couldn't even. I said, Dez, I respect you, but right now, if Texas Tech doesn't fucking turn it on, man, I swear to God, I'm
I
gonna
said it
Because
was
he
a
was
catch.
beside himself.
First thing I said, he said, I watch you guys every day. I say it was a catch. Jay was right there. He's like, "You're damn right, it was a catch."
You know what? We didn't see any X's last night. Nobody was coming up to him with the X's. Just fans taking pictures. No X's. I was on his we're friends on social media now, and he was at the restaurant last night. So people were throwing up X's, but not at the viewing party. No
He was
X's.
a little low key there, to be honest with you. We were kind of in the corner there.
Yeah, but people kept coming up the whole time.
Yeah.
It was cool. I'm sure Jay enjoyed it. Big Cowboys fan. Even though he was a Raven too for a little bit. So very cool. Very, very cool. But so I will go. I'm with Baylor here. This is a typical matchup, just like Iowa State yesterday, where better team, better conference against an outmatched opponent. This team is healthy. They're experienced in the tournament. Coaching is better, and they should blow the doors off of Colgate here. I don't love the early card, like Jay said, but definitely Baylor for me, and FAU as well. Experience. They did bring a lot of the players, just like Ruffolo said, and I think we're overthinking it here with Northwestern. The Big Ten is not elite, and I think FAU can get the job done at least in the first round.
Your comments, there's no way you were hanging with Dez. Let's see. Wait. Anyways,
just real quick here, people.
Mr. Des Bryant, I'm a fan. I appreciate it. I'm over here sweating. I've been over here playing basketball a little bit, but it's crazy. I ran into my guys, big dogs. And I follow you guys' content. When I need a pick, if I'm not for sure, I always go to you guys' page to. Man, when you got that hat on, you gotta be for sure. Absolutely, right? I appreciate you guys. Shout out to you guys.
When you got the hat on, you gotta be for sure.
That was awesome.
Strong representation with the cowboy hat.
So I'm going with so Baylor was almost a premium pick. I am so back and forth on this game. I personally bet on Baylor. Last night I did my 7 free picks, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do this show. I'm going to miss getting my bets in. I went back down, put my bets in. I got all ready to go, and then this is just one of these games. I think Jay has a good point. Baylor could easily come out and shoot 20%, and no one would be shocked. But
what?
Or they could score 150 points, man, and just run them right out of the building. Now, I think that this game is going to be a lot like the Texas-Colorado State game, where the first half, Colgate's terrible in the first half, and I think they're going to be really flat in the first half here. It's a matter if Baylor can put them away. Texas really didn't put them away. They hit that shot right before the buzzer. They never really put them away in the first half, even though Colorado State only scored 11 points. It's a matter of if Baylor puts them away or not. So this will be a good in-game bet, kind of like what we said about Duquesne yesterday. We said if Duquesne is in it in the first 5 minutes to hit it, and we all bet Duquesne money line at that point in the sports book. We hit them. They were plus 218 at that point, and they were winning, and they were still plus 218. And I bet them. And ironically, I was going to bet a certain amount of other people were betting BYU in-game chasing, and it forced me to bet more on.
This was right after the show, so we were all like scattered. We had to find each other. Yeah. So I was out. If y'all follow me on Instagram, y'all know what I was doing. I was at Planet 13, but I left Planet 13. I was coming back to the room, and the game on the TV, and I see Duquesne up like, where were they up? Like 8. I'm like, shit, I already missed this. Let me go to the window right now. And I got them in at plus 140 on the money line.
Mitch sneaking in,
man. Ducking these nuts.
Mitch.
Yeah, I
Little
snuck in an Oakland money line bet today.
sneaky. Pulls up a ticket. He goes, "Look what I have."
Oakland money line plus 675. It's what I do, man. It's how I keep the bankroll going. Sports betting is a very hard thing to chip away. If you're not doing like what Costi does with the sharp action and all that other stuff and like the dime club, these type of plays. If you're not doing that, you have to take your shots or else you will juice out. Regardless, you will juice out unless you hit those money line dogs here and there. At least for my style, because I get emotionally involved like everybody else, and it's like I will take a team on spite alone, and I'll get it handed to me, Like thank God I had Brad Francis to control me from putting that St. Peter's St. Peter's money line bet in game, It was like I was there. They shut down the window outside of where we were watching the games, or else it would have been in. But I was there. I mean, I had talked myself. I was so wound up into it. It was like I was there at St. Peter's money line on the end game. It was like voice of reason, Brad Francis. It's like might not be the best idea right now. Tennessee's like looking like the Globetrotters, man. It's like, oh, boom. It was like, whoa. I think it's always fun when you're watching in Vegas or in a big room of a lot of people watching the game. And I think that is what makes March Madness great. It's like whether you're at a watch party, a bar, whether you're at somewhere like that, and Oakland is up by 1 and Kentucky's coming back and you feel it, and all of a sudden that 3 rains in, and it's just the whole place just goes with the, whoa, right? It's just that whole, everyone's going crazy.
Well, how about the watch party? Buffet, huge buffet. I mean, everything you ever.
3 meals. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, man. Everything. Open bar, donuts, popcorn, chips, homemade chips.
Yeah, Bobby brought us over some popcorn during the Texas. We were really stressed out. He comes over like this with these 2 popcorns.
I'm sure Bobby greased the popcorn guy,
He's like, we were struggling during the Texas Tech game. He just came over, he just popped him over. Like, I didn't even say anything to him. I didn't acknowledge him. I just started.
So we ran out of wristbands. Bobby did the pass back. So Bobby was taking off his wrist, and the guy who clears the table saw it. Bobby walks up to him, puts the money in his pocket, and you didn't see anything.
And he's the DJ for good music too, right next to us.
Yeah. Oh, what was the song? It was not Who Let the Dogs Out. Was it Who Let the Dog? Hoop. Whoop, there it is.
The popcorn was great. And I looked at Roof and I was like, this popcorn's really good. He goes, yeah.
I think Costi's got a new best friend. Bobby.
Oh, I love Bobby.
Oh, Bobby's the best. Known Bobby forever. I have always my memories on my phone when it's me at March Madness. It's always me and Bobby, every single time.
It's like he came over. He knew. He's like, I know. He's like, I know you guys stress eat, so here you go.
I wonder what the price tag was, because you can't. It's an invite only. Like, you can't buy it.
I don't know. But Bobby always is he always ends up getting food and meeting everybody. And it's like this time the food was free, but normally he goes out and buys a ton of food. And it's like you always say whatever he didn't get, you have to say, oh man, I was really looking forward to the the Cobb salad.
So that's why he kept trying to get us food from the buffet.
Yeah,
bring it over, just because he felt like he did a little bit. He got a couple meals over to us, but it wasn't the same.
Right. Waters. Everyone's got to be all set.
Oh yeah, when we were downstairs, he brought 5 croissants, coffees.
He hands me a corn dog when I'm sitting there looking at McNeese, and it's.
Well, we got San Diego State, UAB, Marquette, Western Kentucky. Little interesting matchups in this one. Some teams that really didn't expect to be here. Western Kentucky, UAB, up against San Diego State, a finalist last year, and Marquette, who was at the beginning of the season in a lot of people's Final Four at the beginning of the year. Chris, what do we got going on in these? Tyler Kolek back?
I think he is. Yeah, but
Number you think?
yeah. Um, but for all the afternoon, well, I do love a lot of the afternoon action. This is probably my least favorite 2 game slot, maybe on the entire card. I do lean towards the under in UAB San Diego State. I think the one thing that's going to be for sure is that San Diego State's defense is going to travel here. Um, I do think UAB probably going to sit around that 60-point mark in this game. I don't expect much more from San Diego State. I think this game hangs around the low 130s, so I'm going to take the under 139.5 in this one.
Costi?
So tough. I'm going to roll with San Diego State. I actually have a Final Four ticket on them from a month ago. I'm not quite sure if it's going to cash at this point, which is good value at the moment. But I just think San Diego State is a much better coached team. They've been here before. They've been to the Final Four before. This team has it in them. I think they're gonna get the job done. I mean, I'm with everybody on this one. I don't love this start of the card. These first 4 games at least. And then on the other one, I'm gonna ride Marquette, even though I'm not gonna bet it. I want to see how Tyler Kolek plays, and is he back to his old self where he's the top assist man in the country. I just need to see the dynamic. I know they play well without him, but obviously they're not going to get to the promised land unless he plays a pivotal part in producing enough. So I want to see the dynamic, but on paper, there should be a 20-point favorite versus Western Kentucky team. You should blow them out if they were fully healthy going into. So I don't know. I'm going to take Marquette as a small lean for me on this one.
Western Kentucky 3rd place in their conference, so they weren't like a world beater. But, we definitely won some money on Western Kentucky this season. I mean, so they certainly have a soft spot in our heart. 19-11 against the number. That is a big 14.5 for a Marquette team that, they haven't been at the top of their game recently. They did make it to the final of the Big East tournament. But the thing is they got rung in that game, and they also they've played in a lot of tight games. Shaka Smart is a good coach, but he's not a blowout coach. So for me, that's why this game is a little tougher. For me, I like UAB in the points. I agree with Costi. San Diego State, been there, done that, all those kind of things. But at the same time, UAB is they're kind of like Duquesne and, some of these other teams that we saw yesterday where it was like NC State, right, where they made their move in their conference tournament. And those teams are always very, very dangerous coming in. 7.5 is a lot to lay with this, San Diego State team that generally is, once again, plays in a lot of tight games. They win a lot of tight games. But, Jay, what do you think?
I'm on UAB. I'm going to take the money line, and I'm going to sprinkle on the point spread. I think UAB wins the game outright. I do. I think San Diego State, this point spread's kind of where it's at, mainly because of the run they went on last season. I think they're kind of getting a little extra love. UAB is a really great team. Like, they're good to me. The more and more I deep dive this game, the more and more I say, bro, I think UAB win this damn game outright. That conference that UAB is in, they started to heat up at the end, like everybody did. SMU started playing well. We saw UAB knock them off. Temple really heated up. They knocked them off twice. SMU knocked them boys off. We saw SMU have a good game yesterday. UAB, man. I love my plus money in a tournament. You got to find your spots and opportunities to take them. I think this is a great one. Give me UAB money line.
Got the defending champs and number 1 overall seed UConn Huskies, 26.5 favored over Stetson. Game 2, Clemson versus New Mexico. Mountain West not coming up so great so far this tournament. Of course, they've got San Diego State going earlier today. But yesterday, Colorado State and Nevada both going down in a heap. And then Clemson playing that ACC where North Carolina and NC State both made quick work of their opponents. Costi, what do you think?
You got to hear about NC State over and over and over again. Just catching it. New Mexico for me. This team has it, and this team is better than San Diego State, which we saw beat them late in the season. This team is a reason why they're the 11th seed, but they're a favorite in this game. I think they have the ability to go to the Sweet 16, and I just like them in this match. It's one of my favorite games.
So far, the bubble bursting teams, the teams that burst the bubble on, to knock out some of those other teams, so far they've done very well. Duquesne.
I think there's only been one sharp chaser team that actually came through. And that was NC State. All the other ones, they've gotten their ass kicked. So that's why I'm nervous about this New Mexico.
Yeah, New Mexico. So NC State and Duquesne were both teams that would not have been in the tournament that won and bursted the bubble on somebody. Because
you guys think Mexico's a sharp chaser?
Yes. Everybody, their mama, uncle, and auntie sees the 11 seed favorite here, and they're taking them. Nobody wants to bet Clemson here.
It's that higher seed.
I mean, I get it. I get it. I mean, you can make a case for either one. I just look. Sometimes it just when it looks easy, it's easy. You don't have to overcomplicate things. So New Mexico, and then I mean,
kind of like Drake yesterday. Remember, Drake was favored over Wazoo, and
yeah, but that was 1.5. I mean, this is a little bit.
This is the same.
Kind of the same thing. The 10 was favored over the 7. Sharp chaser special.
Yep, I like Clemson here as well, man. I just think that Clemson has the veteran leadership. They just have the guy, they have the guy who can carry him over. Well, we saw it in Nevada yesterday. So, if those of you that haven't seen our show in the last 4 years, Richard Pitino and Steve Alford are two of my least favorite freaking coaches. And we saw the Steve Alford meltdown yesterday. Up by 16, he decides this is a good time to get the whiteboard out and start diagramming plays against Dayton. Not a good idea as they go down after being up by 16 in that game. And I think Richard Pitino has the same ability to do that to his team and to knock them right out of this game. I think I like Clemson in this one. Not a premium pick, but I think I will bet it. And if I can get reasonable odds on the money line, I'll probably just take them outright. And UConn against Stetson, there's a reason they play the games. And in this case, it's just to fill the TV slot. I think that's really the only reason.
I'm not betting that Stetson UConn game. It just doesn't provide any value for me. I mean, it's like UConn, lay the points or just leave it alone. I don't want to catch that. I'm not touching Stetson is all I'm saying. The other sharp chaser game that came through yesterday was Oregon. They got Oregon. They did get Oregon favored over South Carolina. They did get that one. So shout out to y'all.
I think Oregon's could go to the Final Four, man, the way they played yesterday.
But yeah, shout out to y'all that had them Oregon boys yesterday.
Ridiculous.
I just try to talk y'all through how to board.
Blinded by the cock.
I was blinded by the cock. Yeah, pretty much, man.
Same.
The cock's left a black eye.
What's that, Roof?
I said the cock's left a black eye.
I'm gonna lean Clemson here. I am. I think the hype train has gone a little too far. Could I have taken New Mexico at plus 110 money line and been okay there? Probably. Plus 120 money line? Probably. But laying points with New Mexico State? I don't know. I think the value is now on Clemson. I think this is a legitimate 50-50 game. And what do I tell you guys in legitimate 50-50 games all the time? I'd rather A, have the points in my back pocket, or B, attack the plus money. Give me the Tigers.
Go to our next slate of games. We've got good ones. Auburn versus Yale. And we've got Florida against Colorado. So, interesting one here, Chris. The Pac-12 really good yesterday, but play-in teams, not good. As good as Colorado State looked against Virginia, they looked as bad against Texas, scoring 11 points in the first half. Auburn against Yale. Auburn coming off that SEC championship win.
Yeah, for that last time, so I'm taking New Mexico all day and twice on Friday.
Sorry about that.
And that's okay. No, it's all good.
I thought
Yeah.
Here, I guess I'm up. Is Costy's up? All right. Maybe it's me that's up.
I don't know.
I think it is.
You like New Mexico there, Roof? You do?
Yeah, I love New Mexico. I mean, I understand where you guys are coming from. That it looks like a sharp chaser
You'll
game.
be waiting outside the VIP area while the rest of us watch the game together.
Roof was the only one that didn't get in on Oakland yesterday. I don't know what he was doing. He was over there in La La Land because we were sitting there talking about it, and we were like, "All right, let's go bet it."
I clearly been
Yeah,
saying
the timing was
I don't
off.
like Drake.
No, the timing was off because he still had a shot in the McNeese State game. And that's when they just started. It was like Oakland was ending. I think it was right around that time where he was still dialed in, and they still had a shot. They still had a shot.
Yeah, and everyone just left me there, just sitting there wallowing in my own misery as McNeese got buried.
Mitch turning around good. McNeese State's
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Last week we were all still at home. Y'all heard me, making a case for McNeese, and then Mitch kind of talk a little sense into me. I listen too, guys. I listen on the show all the time. And what he said made a whole lot of sense. He talked me off the edge. He talked me off the cliff. I ain't never been
lost to Purdue, lost to UConn,
Kansas,
lost to Kansas,
St. Mary's twice,
1 point on the road to Santa Clara, in conference 1 point on the road. Tough game.
We got
They might get knocked off, but McNeese just wasn't the team to do it.
We got Florida, Colorado, which, I mean, Florida missing their big man in this one, and they are the number one rebounding team in the nation. So this is not just a small piece of it, because this is a team that misses a lot of easy shots. If you lead the league in rebound, if you lead the nation in rebounding, you miss a lot of freaking shots to get those rebounds, a lot of layups, a lot of shots close to the rim. And that's what Florida does. And they've lost their big man here. Up against Colorado, who I got to say, did not look good in that second half against Oregon. But watching Oregon yesterday against South Carolina and what they did to South Carolina in the second half, maybe it wasn't so much Colorado, man. Maybe it was more Oregon. And then the other one, Auburn against Yale. This is not a great Yale team. We've seen great Yale teams in the past. Malachi, whatever his name was, that ended up at Baylor the next year, right? I mean, great teams like that. This is not that team. These guys beat Brown because the guy missed the free throws at the end of the game. They lost to Brown. They had lost to Brown prior to that, a few days earlier. A Brown team with a losing record. They barely gotten in. And, I like Auburn in this one. I think it's, Bruce Pearl. This is the game that could be, sort of like that Gonzaga game yesterday. And I think that the Florida-Colorado game is going to be super competitive. And I think having that point and a half in your back pocket might actually be not a bad place to be. Jay, what do you think of these two? These are good games. The SEC not showing yesterday really either, South Carolina, Mississippi State.
I just talked myself into a two-team parlay. It happened that fast. Clemson. Money line, dog. Second, I'm going to take the other Tigers, the Auburn. Tigers parlay. Quick little two-teamer. Lay the points with Auburn. Take Clemson. Yale, solid season. Today's Friday. They probably just had a test yesterday. These boys, they're not ready for this game. They not. The Ivy League. Huh?
Spring break.
Okay. The Ivy League, to me, it was okay this season, but it wasn't great. And Yale wasn't great to me either. Like, there was never a time this season where I was like, bro, Yale, oh my God. So I just think that Auburn take care of business there and do what they're supposed to do. And then I've been on them all season, man. Football, basketball, don't matter. Hashtag, we coming. We coming. I'm take the Buffs.
Chris, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking for Jay's parlay, 1 out of 2 ain't bad. I'm gonna take the Buffs here. I'm on Colorado as well. Yeah, I think Florida losing their big man is a huge loss. And I've said it before. Normally, there's one team that plays in the first four that normally wins the next time they take the floor. And I've had Colorado circled as that team for a while. The Buffs peaked at the right time in the year. They're getting healthy. KJ Simpson's a stud. Cody Williams is getting healthy as well. He's getting back in the lineup. Tristan Da Silva's been playing better. So yeah, give me the Buffs here. I think Florida's still slightly overrated.
Costi.
Buffalo's for me. We coming. I think what really happened in that second half of the Oregon game is the Dante effect really worked. And the guy is a presence in the middle. Florida's not going to have that presence against Colorado. And I think they're going to get outmatched. And this is one of those playing game teams that's going to win the first weekend, at least the first round. So give me the Buffs here, and then give me the Tigers as well. Yeah, this is not, like Mitch said, all great points. This Yale team is not what we've seen in years past that were like the elite ones. And these top teams in the SEC, they could hoop. We saw that with Tennessee yesterday. This should be a blowout. I mean, unless Princeton can hit their shots early, Yale can hit their shots early, Auburn's going to they're too athletic, too big.
Too good.
Too good, man.
Too good.
Too good. So Auburn, Colorado for me.
We got Nebraska, Texas A&M. I think these are both teams that they could have been in, they could have not been in. It's like I think you could make a case for them being in. Nebraska 23-10, Texas A&M. They had the little run in the SEC tournament. The SEC teams are getting spanked. So not. I don't know. I mean, you look at some of these NIT matchups, for tomorrow, and you say, man, North Texas maybe would have been a better shot here, or and then you got Duke against Vermont. Jay?
Muted.
I'm muted. Sorry. I'm rolling with Nebraska. I hate saying them. I'm going to Mitch does. So that's how you know. I'm done. They need to go away. They need to go away. I don't like what's the Tommy Naga?
Oh, Taminga.
He wrong.
Taminga.
I like him. He wrong. Taminga.
Yeah.
Taminga. Yeah, he nice.
He could be the.
I like him.
I like him. Yeah, we all like him. He's good.
I like him a lot. He's the style player I see the tournament kind of built for. A guy that may not, be the biggest name or like the best athlete, but stories and names are made
Kansas,
here in March.
If he would have been at Kansas, this guy would have been, one of the stars.
Maybe. But all I'm saying is like these are the guys the stories are made for in March. Kind of like the guy from Oakland yesterday. 10 threes, oh my God. You're a legend forever now. And I feel like if Taminga could just come out here and knock off A&M, get Nebraska a first-round win on TNT, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, this is one of the marquee games of the day. Hey, you could be a legend for a long time, and I think he shows up. I like Wade Taylor too, but I'm on Nebraska. I'm going to I might just go money line here because I can see this one being a tight one. I'll pay a little juice. I think it's like minus 120. I can see this one being it's March Madness. I can see this one coming down to the last bucket too, though. But I'm gonna just take Nebraska money line. And then the other one, I don't want to fall for the hype train of Duke, man. If you just fade the blue bloods like in the tournament, the hype trains, usually we saw Kentucky ass fall yesterday. They had the third most tickets to win the whole damn thing. We all knew Kentucky was a fraud. Duke's good. They should win the game. No way in hell I'm laying 12.5, though. If I were to play it, I might sprinkle a little bit on Vermont money line.
Who's what type of player? What's an elite player for the like game of knockout today? Like, who would you pick as an elite player on the half court hoop this afternoon? Like, if you had to pick a player that's going to succeed, another one, Mitch, you didn't see this. Bobby goes, I bet you there's people betting on who's going to win knockout. I could see people.
Had I seen the game, I'm sure Bobby and I would have had some side action going.
Dez was minus 650. Jace hat ruined me. Couldn't believe it. Almost.
You had the wrist issues from the push-up attempt.
And I left my watch in your room. I was completely disheveled when I left there. Mitch comes in wearing 2 watches.
And the whole time we're walking there, he's like, I'm going to sell him his watch. Teach him a lesson.
Completely disheveled. Between Pathy trying to direct me and just, oh God. All right, what are we on? Is it on me, Chris?
I'm also on Nebraska here. I like this Nebraska team. I have for the better part of the season. And Texas A&M, they caught lightning in a bottle offensively down the stretch, but this is still one of the worst shooting teams in the country. I think Nebraska is far more balanced. They picked up their play, and they got a lot more consistent over the course of the season. And I think Nebraska gets the win there. I'm with Jay. I would maybe just take them on the money line rather than go after the 1.5, just in case it is tight. But I'll take Nebraska there. And I'm going to take Duke. I'm going to lay the 12.5. Vermont, normally a team that runs it with a short bench, and they're banged up. They're missing a couple of their key pieces, their key rotation pieces. And this is a small Vermont team. Their tallest guy that they use in the rotation, 6'8". And Duke, 2 of their best players, 2 of their most utilized players in Filipowski and Mitchell are 7 foot and 6'10" respectively. So give me Duke. I think they just take advantage of the matchup. Filipowski and Mitchell are 7 foot and 6'10".
Costi?
Nebraska for me. Texas A&M was shooting about 50% better from the 3 during that tournament. It was insane that they're one of the worst 3-point shooting teams, and they couldn't miss for a couple of those games. I just don't see that continuing. You saw that in the last game they played in the second half where they completely cooled off when they went back to their old selves that can't hit threes. I think Nebraska gets it done here. I just think that it's the value is because Texas A&M did play really well late in the tournament. I just don't like the matchup here. I think the Big Ten is not as bad as we all think. They could come out of here after a day like today and get it done. Obviously, Purdue's got a huge favorite versus Grambling, but Nebraska for me, and I'm laying it with the Blue Devils. This is not the Vermont team of the past. This is a team that almost didn't. They definitely didn't cover versus UMass Lowell, but they're just not that good. And I think the size of Duke, the athleticism of Duke, and the coaching, I think they're going to get the job done, and they're going to get a huge win here. This is one of those games where I think the line should be 16.5, and it's only 12. It's kind of like the Auburn matchup. It's only 12.
Isn't that but to me, that should scare the shit out of you.
Yep.
Hey, if sometimes it could just look that easy. Because remember, Duke lost.
I'm with you, Costi, but not on certain teams. Not on North Carolina. Not on Duke.
Who did Duke
not on
lost NC State. We see what NC State is doing right now. We see what they're doing. And they lost to North Carolina late in the season. You see what North Carolina is doing. You're telling me they can't come out and can't blow the doors off of Vermont? I'm
saying you said it. You just said it yourself. You think the line should be bigger. So why is it not? This is Duke versus Vermont.
Well, I make my own line. I make my own line. So I make my own line. I think they should be 16.5. Now I have a 4-point advantage to my favor. I'm going to bet what the market is giving me.
Fair.
The market is giving me 12.5. I'm going to bet it.
I was just asking.
I'm taking Vermont on the money line against Duke. I think that's where the play is in this game. I think that you guys are right. If Duke wins, they're going to blow them out of the building. But if Vermont is within range, they're going to beat them outright and send them packing. We've seen better Duke teams lose to worse teams in the first round than this, with better coaches, with Coach K. And I could see it happening in this one as well. I just think that Vermont, they don't come from the big conference. They're not as great as some of these other Vermont teams that they've had in the past, but they're surprisingly sneaky good on defense. And this is kind of like that Oakland, Kentucky game where it's like, they're not really, we knew that Kentucky had played well in spots, but they also got beat up in spots too this season, including by Gonzaga a few weeks ago, in case you hadn't heard this from me a few times over the past 2 weeks. But the thing is that Vermont plays really good defense, and they also shoot the ball extremely well. When Wake beat Duke in their recent meeting, they shot 9 of 17 from the three-point line. If Vermont can shoot 9 of 17 from threes today in this game, they're going to win. They're going to win this game. They're going to have to shoot 50% or better from beyond the arc. It doesn't need to be 60%. It doesn't need to be 70%. But if they can shoot 50% or better from beyond the perimeter, they're going to win this game. Duke's lost their last 2 games. I mean, I understand but it's NC State. I don't care what you say. They were favored by 134 points in that game. It wasn't like, NC State's playing really well. It's still, you lost NC State, man. NC State, they might be making a run, and they might. Who knows? Maybe they go all the way to the Final Four. They ain't gonna win this thing. Duke had beaten NC State by 15 points 3 days earlier.
Cleveland.
They were 11-point favorites in that one against NC State. They're going to get beat. I'm taking Vermont. Going down to Chinatown. I'm fading Ruffolo's ass. That's why I'm here. I'm only here to fade your ass. Stop picking on Ruffolo. We got Purdue against Grambling. That should be a good one. And Alabama. That's the. Anyone need anything from downstairs? I got Alabama taking on Charleston. Who's up? Is it me again?
I think it's Roof.
Jay, Chris, Costi, Jay, me, Jay, Chris.
All right. Well, yeah, Purdue should run Grambling out of the gym, so that's a no-brainer. But I'm gonna go with Alabama here against Charleston. I was on the fence about it at first, but the more I look at it, I just don't think that Charleston's going to be able to keep up with Alabama's offense. I know Alabama's had their problems defensively the last few weeks of the season, but we were talking about it yesterday. I think Alabama could just simply flat out outscore Charleston, not to worry about defense, win this game like 100-87 or something like that, and still get themselves a winning cover by double digits. So I'm going to go with just what I feel is a better offense here and just take Alabama, not overthink it.
Fading your ass. Costi?
Purdue for me, plain and simple. I'm not taking Grambling State. I mean, if Purdue doesn't win this game by 30 plus, it's an embarrassment. I mean, there's no reason on paper that this game should be anywhere near close. They're bigger than them. They're better. Every facet of the game, they're better than them. I don't see anything on paper Grambling State could achieve to keep this game remotely close. And we've seen it before, but even in those times before where those like the UMBCs of the world won, it was a Goliath versus, I don't know. I can't. I'm trying to like make a case for it. I can't do anything on Grambling State. Can't do it. Purdue and Alabama, much better athletes. College of Charleston is not somebody I'm going to lay behind, especially I'm not getting double digits with them. Alabama has shown in the past, like Roof said, where defensively they struggle, but if they hit their shots early and they get off to a lead, it's going to be a double-digit win for them.
I'm on Charleston. The SEC is getting rung up in this tournament, man, and they could be all done by the end by the end of tomorrow. By the end of today, they're getting shellacked, and I think Alabama joins the party as well. Pat Kelsey is one of the best coaches out there. I always felt that Pat Kelsey should have gotten the Cincinnati job over Wes Miller at that time. Instead, he went to Charleston. Of course, he coached that Winthrop team that we won so much money on for so long. Now Chris remembers. He has that smile across his face. Like,
I just remember Winthrop.
Like, Winthrop. I love me some Winthrop. I love Winthrop. Remember when they used to do the 24 hours of basketball? Winthrop.
Yeah.
It's like Winthrop's playing. Yeah, Winthrop. And in the other game, I just don't even understand. This is another bad game. I don't think Purdue's going anywhere. I don't think they're going to win the tournament. I don't think any of that stuff. But I always say after the first round, seedings don't matter. But in the first round, they do matter in some games. This is one of them. I'm taking Purdue. They're going to beat the crap out of them. And Purdue also, they're kind of like the Celtics, right? That front runner bullshit. A lot of ass slapping going to be going on here. A lot of self-serving stuff, you know.
What was the game yesterday, Roof, that I told you, man, they are ass slapping away? Oh, Texas. No, it was NC State. Yeah, remember, because what's his name went to the sidelines, the big guy.
Yeah.
Screaming, yelling. They're all ass slapping in the beginning of the second half.
Yeah. I thought it was another game, but maybe you're right.
You might be right. We were there a long time. Like, we were canceled dinner. They're all at dinner at the Golden Steer, eating steaks. They're sitting in like some crazy room, like canceled dinner. I'm sticking with corn dogs tonight. They just brought out the things on a stick. They're mozzarella sticks. I'm just going to stick to these.
All right.
Oh. Down goes Frazier.
Down goes Frazier. What games are up next? We got Houston against Longwood, Wisconsin against James Madison.
All right.
First of all, the consummate professional keeping it going, even though he has to go pick up the camera. And two,
man down.
That sounded like a longer fall than we were expecting it to be.
No, it's like because the camera's on a tripod, you know? So it's like.
Guess you're not using all three legs of the tripod. You can't use two legs of a tripod, Mitch.
Amen.
I think it's me first. Keep the show going here. Houston for me. This is my national champion. I have two different brackets. One I have in the finals. One I have as a national champion. I know Roof is going to make a case for this trend. Oh, look at that. Look, that's a lot of money. Whatever you have in your hand right now, that's got to be worth $3,000. 6 tickets?
See with your eyes, not your hands. It's not a toy.
It's a lot of money. Whatever you're holding in your hand with those blue bracelets, not cheap. Invite only.
All right.
But Houston for me.
It's not that classy, Costi. They let us in.
Well, the reason I was let in, just full transparency, is I've had a lot of slot play over the last year. The host said, no problem. Whatever you need, room, free food, whatever you want, just come here. And whatever happened after 10 o'clock last night is the reason why I'm probably going to come back next time and have the exact same thing. Just saying. It's not for the good, but it's all paid for some way, shape, or form.
It all works out, man.
It all works out.
So who's up?
So it's me. Houston for me. I know, like I said, Roof is going to make a case for this trend of wood in the downstairs area of a 16 seed. And, I'm not buying into it. They should blow the doors off of Longwood and make them short. Houston is the best team, I think, outside of Iowa State in this entire tournament. I get it. UConn has a shot to make it there, but we saw what Iowa State did yesterday. If that's how tough this conference is, I'm all over them. Lay the 23.5. Don't even stress it. And then the other games that I think the toughest game of the board today. And these 5-12 matchups have not been what they've been in the past, where it was like, all right, clearly the 5-12, you take the dog, the lower seed. But now the way that they're making them, it's not always the case. And I think in this one, I don't like James Madison. They play lackluster competition all year. Wisconsin, toward the end of the year, was playing really well, and in the Big Ten tournament. I'm going to ride them. Defensively, they're better. They're going to get more rebounds, and I think they win this game very easily. Wisconsin for me. I'm not taking JMU. I'm sorry to JMU. I've made a lot of money with them all year, and I loved you guys all year, but not doing it this game.
I like Houston, but I think the first half is also in play here in this game. I think they come out just swarming on defense. I think Longwood's just going to have a lot of trouble moving the basketball around on them and finding shots and finding answers. It's just one of those things. It's like Houston's very motivated this year after last year, and they played like it. I think JMU Wisconsin is a coin flip, personally. Jay?
So I missed that last slot. Hey.
Oh, sorry.
I want to fade Purdue.
Sorry, I lost my camera.
No, yeah, you're good. You're good. I'm just gonna come back. I really want to fade Purdue. I really, really, really want to. I just don't know if Grambling provides me the opportunity to do so. When you just go look at Grambling out of conference, it was ugly. Colorado rung them up. Iowa State, 92-37. Oh my God. So when you start to look at this out of conference, it's ugly. Florida rumbling 96-57. Dayton rung them up 76-46. Washington State rung them up. The only one that they really competed in was against Drake, and that was a 12-point loss. Purdue is not going nowhere. They're going to lose next round, but today they might actually get a cover and act like they did something. And remember, Purdue has to have a good showing here. Remember, they got bounced first round last year. That happened. So I think there's actually motivation for Purdue to come out here and go balls to the wall. Lane Purdue in that damn thing. Costi was talking about the 5-12 matchup. Well, the thing is, we only had one yesterday. The other three are all today. And yes, we knew what was up with that 5-12 matchup. The hype train had gotten out of control with McNeese. Gonzaga took care of business. I think all 12 seeds today, though, are live dogs. All of them. Going with James Madison, Grand Canyon, and UAB. All three of them are live. All three of them. So I'm rocking with James Madison there. The only 3 losses on the season, and you're going to give me this much plus money? Sign me up. We've seen Wisconsin fall flat on their face all the time. Wisconsin is one of them programs where they're kind of lumped in with some of the good teams, but when the last time Wisconsin has done any damn thing in hoops, football, anything? Wisconsin don't never do nothing. So I'm not respecting them as a 5 seed. I'm going to respect 31-3, though. That is what I'm going to respect. I think they got a legitimate chance to win it outright. I want the points, and I want to sprinkle on the money line JMU.
I'm done with you, Jay. After Texas Tech, I'm just done. We're not seeing eye to eye. NBA, we like see eye to eye. We do a morning like a brainstorming mastermind every single morning.
I was hot yesterday. Texas Tech was like my only big play loss, and it was.
You should be ashamed of yourself. Completely ashamed of you. You almost killed me. You almost killed me. I feel bad for you, so I'm going to let up. I'm sorry. I'm going to let up.
Yeah, that's me. So I think Longwood probably going to come out a little bit limp against Houston here. I think Houston's going to take care of
Whoa.
business.
How long did you think of that one?
Like a lot of instances in that situation, it didn't take
get up for them.
It didn't take me very long to get to that point.
This is the time. This is the time
came and
where
went, yeah.
you gotta take them all. This is the time for the A material.
Yep.
There's no reason to keep it
Yeah, 'cause
all.
we're not going to be able to.
There's nothing to save it for anymore.
People forget it's 8
Especially-
o'clock in the morning and we've been doing the show for an hour. It's only 8 o'clock in the morning here.
Yeah, it's going to be the last chance that we have for romance with Longwood today.
The Longwood's going limp.
Yep.
Are you meeting up with Des at any point today? Like, what's the plan? Are you guys like getting lunch?
Why you got to tie that in when I'm trying to talk about this game? Like, well,
Hit the sauna. I could see Des in the sauna would be look talking about games, doing a deep dive. Rufus telling him.
I think Cossie's getting a little bit jealous
Sounds
that
like
I got the invite to the sauna and he didn't.
man crush.
I'm just saying.
Look, no, I'm not jealous. Oh, whoa! I left that in your room too. Rip it in half. That's what I was going to do on the show today. I was going to rip it in half. Pieces of trash. Show them the label on that thing. Yeah, great. Fucking asshole.
The only balls there.
Do something. I was going to rip it live on air. I can't believe I left it. Piece of trash.
I would do it, but I'm too strong. I don't.
Yeah, you see that? We got that at the first place we went. It's this little water bottle from MGM and it's basketball.
It's the only balls that MGM has right now.
Yeah. I'm still trying to get on the app. It still won't work.
Yeah.
Keep forgetting.
And in this one, I'm going to be on JMU in the points as well. I think JMU is battle tested. I mean, we've already seen that they can beat teams like Michigan State earlier this season. They picked up some nice wins and they've been one of the more consistent teams in the country all year long. Again, my concern with JMU is, we saw, teams like McNeese that had nice win totals yesterday that came out flat. But I think Gonzaga, Wisconsin are on just two different ends of the spectrum. I think Wisconsin, they brought back out of that team, but it's been, like Jay said, it's been a team that's really done nothing over the last couple of years. So give me JMU in the points now, and I do think JMU is live there as well.
And our final slot of the night. Utah State versus TCU, another Mountain West school. These schools have not held up well. Big 12 has been mixed. St. Mary's, Gonzaga, big against McNeese, up against Grand Canyon. So here's the deal. I'm just going to say this. I like both these games a lot, but the thing is, I like Grand Canyon. St. Mary's beat Gonzaga twice. I know Gonzaga's super impressive against McNeese, but this is what you have to remember. Okay, just remember this. St. Mary's entire program is built around beating Gonzaga. They know in order to do anything, they have to compete with Gonzaga in that West Coast Conference every year. And most of the time, their tournament bid comes down to having to beat Gonzaga at least once over the course of a season. So their entire program, everything they do, is built around beating Gonzaga. Well, they're not playing Gonzaga today, and that's what we saw in their out-of-conference schedule before the season started when they really, really struggled. I'm going to take Grand Canyon. I'm with Jay. I think we got a live dog here for the money line. I might put in a little money line round robin if anybody wants a piece of that. That's Chris, interested in a little money line round robin? Actually, you might be gone by then, right? What time's your flight out tonight?
11.
No, so all right. Well, we got. I think we got a little money line round robin going here with some dogs. I'm in. I've talked myself into it.
I'm all the way there. I got the Antelopes easily. It's one of my favorite plays of the day. I'm just going to tell you that's one of my favorite plays of the day. Last game on the card.
That good or like just below that?
So Texas Tech was my favorite play of the day yesterday. That's
I'm
what
just
was so
saying.
frustrating.
I just want to know.
That was so frustrating. But I'm on the antelopes too, Costi. I am. And Mitch hit the nail right on the head. When you just look at St. Mary's out of conference, you see why you can't trust these boys. They lost outright to Weber State. That happened. 61-57. They got aired out by Xavier. 66-49. Utah busted them up. This is a team, like Mitch said, built for their conference. St. Mary's, when has St. Mary's done anything recently? They haven't. They're getting outrighted today. We've been on the Antelopes all year. No reason to hop off now. The only for-profit school in the nation.
At least the only admitted for-profit.
I'm on Grand Canyon too, Mitch, and I'm going money line. I'm telling y'all that right
I'm
now.
with you on the money line. I'm round robin in a bunch of these money line dogs, man. I see a lot of them out there.
I'm taking TCU as well. I think TCU beats you. It's gonna be a good game. You know what I mean? I'm rolling with the Big 12.
We saw Big 12 Mountain West yesterday, and it was ugly. The Colorado State, Texas. That's the only thing about it.
Yep. I'm on TCU in this one. I think they were battle tested all season. Played, just stiff competition after stiff competition. I think they're ready for this one. I think they get up and get Utah State. I think TCU is going to be the team that knocks off Purdue. I really do. I think they're going to beat Utah State and they're going to beat Purdue next game. It's going to be one of my biggest bets of the year. If TCU gets out of here against Utah State, I'm for shit show. Don't care what the line is. I'm taking TCU money line against Purdue. So just letting y'all know now. But I think TCU gets out of here against Utah State. 3.5. I do think it's going to be a pretty tightly contested game, but I think the Horned Frogs win it.
All right. Chris?
I'm gonna take Grand Canyon and the points against St. Mary's. Like Jay said, I think that, and Mitch said, I think this Grand Canyon team is live. St. Mary's, they beat up on the weak teams in the other West Coast Conference. And yeah, they got to win over Gonzaga and Santa Clara and so on. But on a neutral floor, they also lost to San Diego State by 25, Xavier by 17. They lost on neutral floor to Boise State, beat UNLV by just 2 points. That's when UNLV wasn't as strong as they were to finish the year. So I think Grand Canyon, they can get to the free throw line. That's the one area where Grand Canyon succeeds, and as good as St. Mary's can be defensively, they do struggle in letting teams get to the foul line. So I think Grand Canyon has the edge there. I think they are live. So give me Grand Canyon and the points with a good sprinkle on the money line here.
Costi?
Yeah, I'm with you guys. All amazing points. I mean, St. Mary's, literally, their entire program really is to beat Gonzaga. That's it. That's all they care about. That's their national championship when they beat them. They haven't done anything else. And I did see, I did take a peek at our brackets. By the way, shout out to everybody that filled out the brackets. We really appreciate it. And there's the Pathy prize is still on the table for anybody that wants to take it, even if you don't win. Jay has Grand Canyon in his Final Four.
I do. I do.
Did see that. I'm just saying. Pretty sure Jay could just win it just by them getting to the Final Four with all the points you get from
Let's go in Grand Canyon. I'm riding it.
The thing that you have to remember about the NCAA tournament is that the first 2 rounds, a lot of upsets. Once you get to the next rounds, usually plays out very chalky. So you have to just remember that too. And that last year was a little flukish as far as the Final Four, but it only got to that point because it's set up that way from the first weekend. Like Purdue got knocked out in the first round. It was like it just kind of set up that way that the ones were out early, and that's what it takes. So
I'm on Canyon. Sprinkle on the money line as well. This other game is just tough. My gut tells me to take Utah State, but my mind tells me to take TCU. And when that happens, I usually do what's called a Ruffolo. I just can't. I can't figure it out, man. TCU, Utah State. Look, they lost to their last couple games that they lost. They were to good competition. I mean, San Diego State's in the tournament. Colorado State was in the tournament. Yeah, they got aired out by Texas, but Texas is really good. They're way better than TCU. I don't know, man. They beat New Mexico. I mean, they beat really good teams. And I think
Oh, go ahead.
getting points in your back pocket, and this is going to be one of those Boise State Drake games. I mean, I'm not Boise State. Really can't even think anymore.
Washington State.
Yeah,
Washington State.
and Washington State Drake, and I don't know. I just think it's going to be really close. You guys already gave it out. I can't pick a side here, so passing on.
All right. Well, we're running a little short on time, so we'll combo up these NBA games. We'll do 2 per slot, as opposed to going through them individually. We got 8 total. We got the so anyways, the comment was round robin only worth it for big dogs or home run prize. I said a money line dog round robin is what I said. So it's going to be a lot of big dogs. Anyways, Pistons versus Celtics and Raptors on the front end of the back-to-back against the Thunder Buddies. Jay?
Unless we have a clear and concise reason to fade Boston, we're not doing so. It's Boston for me there. We just saw them kick the crap out of Detroit. I think they could do it again. The injury reports are really concerning in that game for both teams.
I'll be mad. Got blown out.
Yeah.
Mad.
I see Brown game time decision, Porzingis game time decision, Horford game time decision, and Holiday out. So probably just a no play for me. I wouldn't even try to catch the falling knife with the Pistons, though. There's better spots to take Pistons than against the Celtics, in my opinion.
They wouldn't throw them in the money line.
Fuck no. And then I will lay it with the Thunder Buddies as well. I know they haven't been the best cover team recently. Been kind of frustrating in that way. But the Raptors, I'm still Ruffalo's line. They've waved the white flag. They're done. Stick a fork in them. We're done with them. If there was a spot where the Thunder were going to get back on track, win, and blow somebody out and cover, it's this one. I'm still not in the space where laying 15 with the Thunder makes me nervous. Like I'm not nervous about that at all. I think this is a style game the Thunder could be winning by 20 the entire way through. So I'm laying it there with Oklahoma City. Thunder Buddies for life.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm taking the Thunder Buddies here. Like Jay said, they've waved the white flag on the season. All the key pieces are missing. Emmanuel Quickly, Barrett. I think Chris Boucher's on the injury list now. Pirtle and Barnes are probably done for the year. And, OKC hasn't been the best road favorite. I think they're 11-15 against the spread, and they've kind of gone through the motions lately. But this just feels like a smash spot to me for the Thunder. So it's Thunder or nothing from here.
Costi?
Thunder. They've disappointed us in the second half of the season, but I think this is one of those games where this is what you do. You don't fade them. You're definitely not taking the Raptors at home. Just roll with the Thunder. Keep it simple. It's Friday. Enjoy March Madness. Enjoy the Thunder beating up on the Raptors.
Pistons for me. I love fading Tatum, and it's just one of my favorite things to do. I will continue to do it. And I think the Pistons, they're mad about that blowout loss. I think they show up this time and at least be counted. If they don't win the game outright, it's going to be close. But I think you throw them in that round-robin parlay of moneyline dogs. Why not? I wouldn't say the same for the Raptors. That's for damn sure. I'll take the Thunder Buddies. Not been the best cover team recently, but who the hell knows? We got the Heat against the Pelicans and the Timberwolves against the Cavs. I think Ingram's out for the Pels here. Chris?
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah.
He hurt his knee yesterday. He could be out like 2 weeks.
So
Yeah.
I had done the video before that injury happened.
Yeah, I think the only one of the two that I like here is the under in Minnesota Cleveland. Because I really want to see this injury report clean up for that game. Obviously we know what Cleveland's missing. Mitchell, Mobley, Struess, um, Dean Wade out for this game as well. Minnesota, they're obviously missing Cat, but Naz Reid, Rudy Gobert, Anthony Edwards, all questionable for this game. I think it was a first to 100 wins kind of game, regardless if those guys were playing. So I'm going to take the under Minnesota Cleveland.
Costi?
House of disappointment for me. I'm in the house. I'm here. I'm trying to just make it make sense. They gave me a free night. They got comp me. So taking advantage of all the amenities. There's a hot tub open roof if you ever need to use it later this afternoon.
Well, thank you so much.
Towels.
Just letting you know.
Towels.
I appreciate it.
Free towels.
Towels.
House of disappointment for me. And I know it's not pretty, but I'm with Mitch's home team here. Give me the Miami Heat at home. Injury, I can't trust the Pelicans right now. They lost. We had them yesterday, losing to Orlando, and we had them on the money line as well. So back end of a back-to-back, no Ingram. Give me the Heat at home.
I took the Pelicans in my video. It was before the Ingram injury. I still think the Pelicans the Heat have not been performing, man. It's like the Heat don't care unless it's the playoffs. And so it's a lean, though, Pelicans. And then I like the Cavs against the Timberwolves. I just think this is a really low-scoring game, man. And I think that 207, I think it's going to go under that total. So I think that 7.5 is going to be magnified. So I'm going to take the points. Jay?
Miami's favored at home. I can't take them.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Can't. The other problem is, though, the Pelicans, when healthy, they're one of the best teams in the league. That's what the numbers suggest, but they're never healthy. And so there's the flip side of that coin to where it seems like all their losses come when one of the guys is out. And one of the guys is out here, and Ingram. We've already seen Miami beat New Orleans once this season. It wasn't even that long ago, about a month ago, less than a month ago. No, about exactly a month ago in New Orleans. Miami's coming home off a significant road trip, though. They have won 3 of their last 4. I don't want to fade New Orleans, is all I'm saying. I don't want to do that. If I were to play that game, it'd probably be Pelicans money line, even on the back end of a back-to-back, even without Ingram. I'd probably play Pelicans money line. And then the other one, Chris, can I get the keys? I ain't been there in a minute.
Yeah, I don't have them on me, but I think they're in the lockbox.
Okay, all right. I'm checking in tonight, man, into the house of disappointment. Revenge game at home at the crib. Kind of a quick revenge game as Cleveland just beat these boys earlier this month in Cleveland, 113-104. It was a tightly contested game. Game did go to overtime. Cleveland's still banged up right now. I don't really like the spot for Minnesota at home at the crib, coming off a loss to Denver in a close game. I think they lock in, get this one done. I think defensively is where we really see them step it up. I think Gobert's back tonight, which is good. Anthony Edwards, I do see him game time decision, and Naz Reid. In all honesty, I think all these guys play, and I think Minnesota stomps down on Cleveland at home at the crib.
Okay. Got these are 2 good ones. Spurs and the Grizzlies and Warriors Pacers. Costi.
Wow. Anytime the Spurs are a favorite, usually we actually win. Not many, but the Memphis hustle is what is and will be continue to get aired out. They keep losing. I know they've covered 2 of the last 4. Not too worried about it. I think there's a reason why San Antonio's favored here. And San Antonio's covered 3 of their last 4. I'm not betting this game, but San Antonio for me. And then give me Golden State Warriors at home. Plain and simple. They've been playing well of late. They beat up on the only game really that you saw that they should have won was against New York a couple nights ago. We were actually on the other side, but I want to see something. This is the time they need to actually turn it on if they want to make it to this tournament, to the playoffs, to the playing game. And this is a game that they need to win against the Pacers, against a good opponent from the East. So give me Golden State.
I'm on the other side. I'm taking the Pacers in that one. I just think that the Warriors at home, the reason why they're in that problem is because they've been terrible at home. 14, 20, and 2 against the number at home. 18 and 18 straight up at home. Only 5 and 5 in their last 10. Pacers have been a decent road cover team, and we know they can put a ton of points up. So even if the Warriors somehow manage to eke out a win, which I don't think is at all, I would even put the Pacers in our money line round robin parlay. I think the Pacers in that one. I like the Spurs also with you against the Grizz. I just, the Grizz I think are done. Jake?
I want to take them Pacers money line with you, Mitch. I really do. But them damn Warriors, they have no more room for error. None whatsoever. Do y'all know the Warriors could possibly not even make the play-in tournament?
Mm-hmm.
They're probably. I might go out on a limb here and say they don't. I know the NBA want that 9-10 matchup, though. That's going to be the most viewed game of all time. A win-or-go-home game between the Lakers and the Warriors. I know that's what they want. And they might get it. But Houston, we have a problem because the Rockets is red fucking hot. And they're only a game and a half back now of the Warriors for that last spot.
They got pretty easy schedule coming up, I think, too. So
that's what I'm saying. They might go get them for that last spot.
Good at the beginning, bad in the middle, and good now, man. 9 to 10, right? And we coming.
No, for real.
They are.
So if I want me to be 1,000% honest, that's what kept me off. I want to bet Pacers money line here, but this is damn near a must win for the Warriors. So I kind of left it alone. I did. I want to bet the Pacers there. I think the Pacers probably is the play, but in a must win, fading Curry and Golden State is not really what I'm interested in doing. So that's my analysis on that one. And then Spurs as a favorite. Many people may say, ew, Spurs laying points, ew. Well, I'm here to tell you, they be balling when they supposed to ball. They're going to kick the crap out of Memphis. Memphis on the road for the last 2-3 seasons it's been terrible. San Antonio, I think they get it done and win that game comfortably. There's a reason the team with 15 wins is favored by 7 points over the team with 23 wins because these are 2 different teams than they were and have been for the whole season. San Antonio is the head and shoulders better team right now today. I'm on the Spurs.
Chris?
I'm going to take the Pacers and the points. I just think it's going to be a tight game, and like Jay said, it was almost money line for me, but the Warriors have no more margin for error. They need to pick up wins where they can, and the Pacers, they're not going to make life easy. They're trying to lock up a top 6 spot in the East, so level of motivation for both teams. I think it's going to be one of the better games on the board today. So give me the Pacers and the points in that one.
All right, we got the Blazers and the Clippers, and the Lakers and the Sixers. Last 2 games of the show. A lot of people have a lot of you hopefully have seen the shorts that I've been doing with in interview style, where I sat down for an interview and then they just took the interview and they just chopped it up into a million videos. Well, we did a lot of those yesterday with Jay, Chris, Costi, myself, and Eric all did those. So you'll see a lot more of these shorts coming. One of the questions they asked Jay in the interview, so it will be one of the shorts, was what makes people unsuccessful at sports betting? And he said, because they keep taking the Clippers, man, and everyone knows their ass. I'm taking the Blazers on the money line, man. I'm in Vegas. Couldn't be better timing. I'm here.
Is that round robin? Is that in there too?
I'm taking it straight up on its own, and I'll throw it in the round robin. This is the one. I also like the Sixers lean with the points. I think the Lakers probably win, but it's probably going to be closer. Fading the Clippers' ass. I'm in Vegas. I'm here to fade.
I'm fading the Clippers' ass.
So sick of them, man.
The only reason I showed up on the show today was to fade the Clippers.
I'm Lincoln Riley done with those Clippers, man.
And in that last one, laying 7.5 with the Lake Show, I can't do it. I can't get there. Does that mean I want to bet Philly? Not really. That's my Ruffolo for the day. That's Sixers, Lakers, and then I'm taking the Blazers plus the points.
Chris, take the Clippers. Come on, we need it.
I'm with Jay. I'm taking the Ruffalo in the last two.
Woo!
Two?
Flow.
Has that ever been done before?
Well, it has now.
It's a Ruffalo. It's a Ruffalo on a segment. It's technically
Did you see
it's
the
a one.
size of the bag of candy he gave me? We're gonna let him slide on this.
Thank you.
So, quick disclaimer: I didn't. So he sent me those crisps for Christmas, and for whatever reason, Lindsay stored them away somewhere. I didn't even get to them till last week. You guys were talking about the candy. I opened one up. It's like, what is she doing? She's hiding gold for me.
I got a ton of them here, so if you want any, let me know.
And you gave me some cough drops or something.
Oh, yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those are the cough. When we had the cough drop discussion on the show, they have no medicinal value at all. It's basically candy. I love.
Damn it! I forgot mine yesterday.
Yeah, they're sitting over here. I'll bring them to you.
Well, here's what happens. I come home. I come to the room late at night and I open up the Merce. There's all kinds of stuff from the day that I had no idea. I have a headband. I have all kinds of stuff in there. I have 6 different hand pays. I'm still down on the day. That's even more disappointing. It's how did this happen? How did I cash for 10,000 on slots and I'm still down? I don't understand. How am I going to pay taxes on these? But I'm still down. All right, it's only Thursday. Still have time. But yeah, it's Portland for me. Fade the Clippers' asses. Can't stand them. And Lake Show. Not taking a Ruffalo here. Not betting it, but Lake Show for me. This is the game they have to and should win against a terrible team.
All right, we've made it. I'm going to make my meeting on time. Unbelievable. Parlay time. This. I never thought I was going to make this meeting on time. I thought they'd surely be waiting for where the hell's Mitch?
I think we're a little bit tired today. Just a little bit.
Where the hell's Mitch? Chris, what do you got?
I'll go since we didn't touch on it, I'll go NHL parlay because people will be clamoring for it.
No one.
Hurricanes, Stars, and Avs on the puck line.
Jake.
Let's make some money today, man. UAB money line, Clemson money line, Grand Canyon money line. 3 dogs. NCAA tournament.
I'm betting that one. I'm betting that. I'm going to throw in a couple more teams round robin.
You said, what'd you say, Jay? UAB,
Clemson.
UAB,
Grand
Clemson,
Canyon.
Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon.
I like 2 of the 3. I like 2. All right, I'm going to go Grand Canyon money line, Utah State money line, Nebraska.
I'm gonna go. Tough one. Let's see. I think I like so many games today. This could be one of those days where I'm gonna be glad that all the food is free because I'm not gonna have any cash. It's all gonna be working.
I'm with you.
I'll miss you guys today.
We'll miss you too,
You're not coming,
Costy.
you're not coming at all?
No, we'll be sending selfies of.
I'll come in the morning. I'll come in the morning. We're leaving
So
at
how
11.
long is this round of golf?
Takes about 4 hours, right? Plus the
4 hours, half an hour there, half an hour back on the range, practice.
5-6 hours.
I mean, it's lunch. 6 hours.
6 hours.
So I'm not gonna see you at all before I leave.
Yeah, he's gonna say he's coming by in the morning. He just said it.
Oh,
Come by in the.
San Diego
We're
State.
gonna do the same thing.
All right, I'm gonna go. Clemson, Vermont money line, Charleston. Clemson money line, Vermont money line, Charleston money line. I'm going a lot of money lines in this. It's going to be a big round robin. Thanks everyone for joining us. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you're in Vegas, give us a shout out, and we're around. So yeah, make it a winning day. Jay will be hosting. Be interesting. I get to sleep in. I could use it at this point.
I will not be on the show tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm 2 days in, man. A Vegas trip. So yeah, I'm ready for some sleep. All right. Maybe I'll see you guys at the end of the show tomorrow. Anyways, make it a winning day. Gonna try and act more professional the next time I'm on. If I'm not on tomorrow, I guess Sunday.